remember reading about this project last year. So how has it shaped up from then till now, Mani sir?
Yeah, I think, it was started early. And when, we went through the first wave and we're thinking, what we can do to help the industry and to, you know, handle the situation where a lot of these daily workers are there, who are uh, without jobs suddenly. So that's how this came about. And today, considering where we are, it looks even more important that we did it at that time, so that, it stands in a very handy time when people really need it in the industry. And it is amazing to have so many people from the industry coming in and being a part of it.
Which of the 9 Navarasas would you say is most cinematically difficult to portray, and why?
I think all of them, all of them are very difficult to portray genuinely. And all of us are hoping, or all of us have been trying to do that genuinely in all the films. I mean, it is not as though one film is restricted to one dresser, though it could be a predominant factor. I'm sure it works only in comparison when with others. I mean, an anger doesn't work without without calmness. So I think it's a combination. Each film tries to bring it across. Even in what we have done in Navarasa, though each one is depicts a particular emotion, but it will be in contrast with the rest of them.
Both of us had to be happy with the script we had in front of us, and we tried a lot to make sure all the scripts were very, it worked for us in a big way. And in that, we struggled with disgust in a way that to find the right story that both of us would be happy with, and we thought that will come out well on screen as well. So that took us a little more time than others to get it right the way we wanted it. Yes.
I noticed a lot of many exciting filmmakers, Mani sir, and one of the filmmakers, of course, is Arvind Swamy. Saw that name and really jumped. So how has that script? How has that come out particularly?
Yeah, everybody has to start somewhere. I think he's very passionate about it, and I remember last time I spoke to him. He said now he's not so keen on acting. He wants to direct more films. So that's what he said. I think the bug has got him.
Mani sir, the last 15 months have been life-changing for many of us. Personally, for you as a filmmaker, how has it been? Number one. Number two, will your writing per se in the future be changing to tailor make to smaller subjects rather than expansive ones?
I think what happens tomorrow, we don't know. I mean, given this situation, but right now we are all going through it. So, I'm sure it'll get reflected in future in some, with several other filmmakers who do it, not tomorrow, but, a few years down the line, to kind of give a cogent view of this entire crisis and this phase of our lives. But at this point of time, we just want to come out on the other side, and with as minimal a damage as possible and as quickly as possible. I think that is the paramount at this point of time.
The last 1 year or so, the fact that these OTT platforms have boomed is a huge industry change in that sense. What do you make of it, Mani sir?
I think it's future. I think it's there and it is growing, and I think it's a big plus for the filmmakers. The sense there are lots of ideas which don't have to fit into a 2-hour format as a feature film, but we can have these long format stories, and you can have anthologies. It opens up different ways of telling stories, different kinds of stories that can be said, big, small, everything is possible. So I think filmmakers from now will have a lot more variety in their making and a lot more subjects that they can handle. So I think it's a growth. I mean, it's a huge growth.
What has Mani sir been watching in the last year and a half?
Once you're a film bug, you're a film bug. You watch a lot of old stuff. you watch everything. I mean, there are two things that occupy your mind, and this kind of a gap is one is if you have an unfinished script that takes a lot of your time, and if you have an unfinished love story going with the films that you watch, then there are umpteen number of films that you can dig and watch. So both were happening.
Just one word about Ponniyin Selvan, of course, which is going. How did you get the confidence to take up such a huge project, Mani sir, and how is it going despite all the pandemic and COVID-related protocols that are happening right now?
Yeah, it's tough during COVID times. We have to make sure that all precautions are there, and do our best to take care of everyone's safety and do your best within that, whatever you have. And yeah, it's still not done. We still have one more stretch to do. Hopefully we'll do it soon. I think it's no different from any other film that you do. It's just that the scale is bigger and you need to handle a lot more things. That's all. I think a small film is as difficult to do as a big film in terms of getting it right. So it's always been like that for me. So that was never a problem. Confidence of doing it was not a problem. It is only the jumping into the water that was the problem.
You are one of among those who outlook who've been part of the directors from 80s, 90s, 2000s, and of course still now. What to what would you to what reason would you attribute this longevity to?
Luck. No, no. I mean, they've been masters. I mean, Kurosawa did films till his last days. Hitchcock did so many films. Clint Eastwood is still making great films. So, I mean, they've been in India, there have been several of them. Yash Chopra has done films till the end. So, I mean, it is a question of what your desire is. I think if you still want to say something more, and if you have the hunger for it, I think you'll find a way.